Hello everyone, welcome back to the class of chemistry. First of all, a very fresh good morning to all. I hope you all are doing well, so stay at home and stay healthy. But don't forget to like my video and subscribe my channel. Now, let's revise some of the topics of previous class. We have discussed that how atoms exist in our surroundings. We have discussed that atoms are existing in the combined state. Basically, when we talk about noble gas or the metal elements, they only exist in the free state. Otherwise, most of the elements they exist in the combined state. When the atoms of same elements combined, the molecule is known as molecules of element. And under this topic, we have also discussed to find out the atomicity of the molecule. Atomicity is mainly the number of atoms present in a molecule of element. If only one atom is present in a molecule, it's monoatomic. If two atoms are present, then it is considered as diatomic. 3 atoms means triatomic. And if 4 atoms are present in a molecule of element, for example phosphorus, so it is considered as tetraatomic. And more than 4 we consider as polyatomic. So depending upon number of atoms present in a molecule, we define these molecules of an element. Afterwards, we have discussed the molecules of compounds, in which we have done that the atoms of different elements combine together to form these molecules of compound. In today's class, we will now discuss chemical formula. A chemical formula basically a representation of the composition of a molecule in terms of symbols present in a molecule. It is also known as molecular formula. The formula can be of an element or it can be of compounds. So let's discuss first of all the formula of an element. It is the representation in the form of symbols which tells us about the elements, that which element is present, and subscript tells us that how many atoms are present in one molecule. For example, H2. Here H represents that element is hydrogen, and the subscript 2 here represent that 2 atoms of hydrogen are present. In the same way, I have given you example of nitrogen, chlorine, sulfur. In sulfur also S represent the element sulfur, and 8 represents that 8 atoms of sulfur are present in a one molecule of sulfur. Now, here I have written the 3 formulas of hydrogen, 2H, H2 and 2H2. Let's understand what is the difference between the 3. In case 1, it represents 2 separate atoms of hydrogen which are not chemically combined. Now, we know that one molecule of hydrogen element always contains 2 atoms of hydrogen which are chemically combined. So, the second case, that is H2. Here H indicates the element hydrogen and subscript 2 indicate that it contains 2 atoms of hydrogen. So overall we can say that it indicates one molecule of hydrogen element which contain 2 atoms of hydrogen. In the third case, that is 2H2 represents 2 molecules of hydrogen. I hope you have understood the difference between the 3. Now, I hope you have understood the difference between the 3 formulas. The next we are having formula of a compound. Again, this formula represents that what elements are present as well as that how many atoms of each element is present in one molecule of a compound. For example, water. Here The number which is written in front of the symbol of an element indicates the coefficient, which are used to balance the equation, as well as it is used to tell that how many molecules of a particular compound is present. Now, the figure which is written as a subscript is indicating the number of atoms of a particular element. So, in this example, we have taken 2H2O. The figure 2, that is coefficient 2, multiplies the whole formula H2O. It is not just the first element which is to be multiplied by this 2. That means 2H2O contains 4 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen, as the coefficient 2 multiplies with the subscript. Now, let us understand it better with the help of an upcoming video.
Interpreting molecular formulas is a skill that is important to chemistry. Molecular formulas show which elements make up the molecule, and they also show us how many of each element are in the molecule. For example, H2O is made up of hydrogen H and oxygen O. A number written to the lower right of an element is a subscript and is the number of atoms in the element. In this case, hydrogen has a subscript of 2. This means there are 2 atoms of hydrogen present. Oxygen does not have a subscript. This implies there is 1 atom of oxygen. So here we have 1 molecule of water, which has 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. If we have 2 molecules of H2O, we do not write H2O twice. Instead, a number in front of the molecule tells us how many molecules are present in the formula. This number is called a coefficient. There are 2 molecules, so a coefficient of 2 is placed in front of the molecular formula.
Chemical formula. A chemical formula represents one molecule of an element or a compound. A chemical formula for a molecule is represented by the group of symbols of the elements which constitute the molecule, along with the number of atoms of each element present in one molecule. The chemical formula for an element is represented by the symbol of the element followed by its atomicity in subscript. The number of atoms in a molecule of an element is equal to its atomicity. For example, hydrogen has the atomicity 2. Its chemical formula is H2. The chemical formula for a compound is represented by the symbols of the elements present, followed by the number of atoms of each such element in subscript. For example, the chemical formula for water, a molecule of which has 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, is written as H2O. When an element is not followed by a subscript, it is understood that it has 1 atom in the molecule. For example, helium is written as He. So we can understand that it has only 1 atom.
Now again, one question comes in our mind. Why to write a chemical formula? What is the importance of this writing a formula? So let's discuss the significance of this chemical formula. The very first, it indicates or represents the name of a particular substance. It also represents that how many molecules of a particular substance is present. A chemical formula of a compound is also indicating the number of atoms of each kind of element present in a compound. It gives the total number of atoms of each element in a particular molecule. of a compound. And by knowing the formula of a compound, we get all the names of all the elements present in one molecule of compound. I hope you have understood the formula of element and compound and their significance. Now, it's time for an assignment. On the previous topic and today's topic, I have given you some of the questions. So please go through these questions and try to attempt these questions and write down in your registers. But don't forget that you have to revise your syllabus time to time. For further query, you may ask in online session. And remember to write your name, class and roll number in the comment section of YouTube video. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.